T minus 3, 2, 1, ignition.
What you know about this life? Yeah. Just relax, baby, get high. Yeah, you're on your way to the best night ever. No top on it, no top. Out with the stars.
What up, Best Night Ever League? It's me coming at you with our Week 8 update here. A little late. It's a little rainy outside, but you know, we're gonna pump this out real quick because I don't miss my recaps. So here we are coming at you. First matchup I'm gonna start off with here is Finley versus Connor. So big game here from Finn. He got the big upset win, huge upset win against Connor. Connor's team finally showed us that he is in fact mortal, and he bleeds like the rest of us. Derrick Henry, not really the hard carry because his team is so balanced at every position, but there's no replacing him. He's down and out for the season, and that's got big implications for his team. Even though he's got people like Harris and fucking DeAndre Swift and Jonathan Taylor is probably like the best running back right now, but it's still rough even for his team. I mean, before that it was like he's definitely going to win the championship. I still think he's probably going to win it, but yeah, that's pretty rough for him. So just going to look at the scores. You got Teddy not doing much. Jalen Hurts finally has a shitty game because which I don't know how he had such a bad game. They scored 44 points, but I think he kind of sucks personally. Like, sucks as a quarterback. He's not good at passing, but he just runs, so he's good in fantasy. But I think he was due for a shitty game like this. Derrick Henry still had 28 carries, only 68 yards before fucking up his foot. Jonathan Taylor with a really good game as always. Debo, somehow a really good game. Cooper Kupp is literally fucking Christian McCaffrey this year. It's unreal how good he's been, and like no team has any answer for it because it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? It's just unreal. He's insane. Pitts is looking in the pits at 2.3. 2.3 points, that is. Oh, my phone's not charging. I should probably plug it in. There we go. And, yeah, Connor just with, like, not a miserably bad week, not as bad as my week, or Bobby's week, but miserably bad for his team. So, losing to Finn, that was a fat upset, and no one thought Finn would be the one. I mean, I personally thought maybe Andrew, but nah, that's just, it's a rough game for Connor. He had Godwin on his bench with a fuck ton of points. So, just unlucky, but, yeah, we'll take a look at so we got one upset there, and then just another, not really an upset. If anyone else on the team, it wouldn't be an upset, but since it's Andrew's team, big upset here. Jacob losing to Andrew for the first win of the year. Andrew fucking pulls this one out of his ass and just annihilates. It's crazy. 149, the weekly high scorer here. This guy hadn't gotten a win in like 2019 since then, it seems like, but he pulls it out. Oh, his team with Danny Dimes only 14, but Matt Stafford 27. The backup, no, he's not backup, but Harris with 14, Eckler with 21, AJ Brown with fucking 21. Or no, 29 and a half. Oh my god, dude. Just everything fell right into place, and I thought really that Jake would I thought Mahomes would just show up and score 40 in Monday Night Football because he's playing Andrew, but it just like didn't happen. I honestly cannot believe it. So yeah, finally Andrew with the big, huge win, dude. Like, goddamn, congrats to Andrew. His team has been solid. He's middle of the road, but his record does not reflect that. So I'm thinking good things ahead for Andrew. Jacob's team is looking pretty rough. Dalvin Cook's pretty washed. I think Minnesota just as a team is kind of falling apart. So Dalvin Cook is just suffering from that. Justin Jefferson was a terrible game, but yeah, Dalvin is not the same Dalvin anymore. The injuries are catching up. Mahomes is not the same Mahomes anymore. Deshaun just isn't playing. Sam Darnold, he was like a fucking. I don't know what happened the first couple weeks. I guess those are flukes because now he's back to Sam Darnold form. Pittman had a crazy game, but yeah, it just didn't happen for Jacob. Nothing, it couldn't get much going. I mean, he still scored 137, which was good for this week, but finally Andrew just pulls it out. It's so huge. The kicker situation. Well, Andrew's kicker only got 3, Ryan Suckup, and then Jacob, he got 15 from Folk, and then 12 from Buffalo's defense, where Andrew only got 2 from. So just Andrew could have lost this just from the defense and kicker matchups, which would have been too funny. But yeah, and I don't know. Just looking at Jacob's team, it's looking pretty rough for him. I think his quarterback situation. Well, I mean, he's got Mahomes, but Mahomes last year could have carried Sam Darnold on his team, but this year he's got a gaping hole at quarterback, and honestly, Dalvin's still Dalvin, but I don't know, it's not looking good. Next matchup, we got Bobby versus Cam, and another very low scoring week. So this is no exception, and part of it was Cam's a little sly. He got in there and took a Dak's fucking backup, which I thought was hilarious. I personally would probably do the same thing, but I think we should discuss the fact that he dropped a player that had already played, and that's probably I can't believe it's even. I didn't think that was allowed. Not allowed, but I thought for sure like once a player's team had played, he was stuck on your team, but apparently not. So yeah, we should probably look into changing that. But if Cam had had a person who he could drop and he did that, then I mean, more power to him. I thought that was a slick move. The guy sucks for Bobby, but I mean, Dak would have had to score 35 for him to win this game. So yeah, we got Bobby losing to Cam 90 to 125, and Cam's team just all around very solid. He had all of his skill positions were double digits besides Herbert on the Bears, so it was a real solid game from him. His quarterbacks are looking good this year. I think Tannehill, he's probably getting, I don't know, maybe, I feel like he should get a bump now that Henry's out, because literally in the red zone, their entire offense was just give the ball to Henry. So maybe they'll involve him a little more, but Joe Mixon's looking good. Kamara's looking good, but Taysom Hill is going to come in, just swoop those fucking touchdowns. So we'll see. Cam knows how this goes. Cam knows better than anyone what Taysom Hill does to Kamara. So yeah, his whole Bengals stack is really panning out. You know, the Bengals are looking real good. Joe Burrow's, he's rolling this year, so it's worked out. As for Bobby's team, he's basically Dak, Josh Allen, and just a bunch of other fellas with him, with those two, because, and Diggs, I guess, but even Diggs has been kind of so-so this year, I'd say. I mean, definitely not playing up to his expectations, because Josh Allen involves everyone on the offense and not just him. Same with DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, on paper, you would think Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, but I was skeptical early on, too, because DeAndre was so good with Deshaun because he was literally the only wide receiver on that team, but now Kyler's got all these other options, and in the red zone, all they do is fucking run the ball, so it's like, that's where DeAndre was so good, is in the red zone, but this year, they just fucking handed off to Connor Edmonds, so, Josh Allen got 28.5, Leonard Fournette, only 5.8. That's honestly what Leonard Fournette should be fucking getting, because I don't know why he's so good this year. It's just the year of random running backs who should suck are just somehow good and bailing teams like this out. And then this guy from New England, Bolden, who I hadn't even heard of before this week until I saw Bobby was starting him, had 2.6, so that was rough. Hard to win with that. Yeah, Thielen with a pretty good game, but Tunyon, he's gone for the season. But yeah, Diggs is just like, 5 for 7 targets, 5 catches, 7 targets, 40 yards, and a touchdown. So you take away that touchdown, he would have had like 7 points. So yeah, it's a rough. Josh Allen's just insane for him, so he's kind of carrying Dak too. But yeah, the former like star receivers, DeAndre and Stephon Diggs, are just, they're not the same as they used to. This year it's all about Deebo Samuels, fucking Jamar Chase, and Cooper Kupp, and Devontae. He's like the only star who's still a star. Him and Tyreek. And then there's my matchup with Michael, and as is tradition, my team decides to play as poorly as they possibly can. Kyler gets 6 points, which is about tied for his worst ever fantasy performance. So that, it's like, who else would have happened to fucking Michael, dude? Like, what like, why? Against the Green Bay, who's not a defensive team really, and he should have been able to just roll, but then once again, every time they get to the fucking red zone, it's just handed to James Conner or Edmonds. So Justin Herbert, I guess the Patriots are his kryptonite, because last year he also played terribly against them, and he only gets 11.8, and if he plays bad, then my entire fucking team plays bad, because I have his 2 best wide receivers, except apparently Mike Williams just isn't, because they just do not involve him, and they tend to lose when they don't involve him at all. So I just don't get it. But Keenan Allen's another guy like DeAndre, who I thought would just be really good this year, and he's just not really panned out. And then Zeke without Dak can't do anything, of course. 9.3 is solid, but obviously he needs Dak on the field. Even if Dak is just handing him the ball, just him being on the field means Zeke gets to do something. Aaron Jones should have 26.5, but he got a touchdown reversed on a terrible call. So not that mattered, but if I would have lost by 6, I would have, I don't know what I would have done. But so it's bad enough Kyler has his worst game ever, and then James Robinson gets injured, which honestly I was due for an injury, because everyone's players are getting fucking injured besides mine, and somehow my team just doesn't capitalize on it. I don't know, but yeah, then Michael's team, a pretty rough week for Kirk, only getting 12. Tom Brady kind of looked like dog shit, but he turned the ball over 3 times, but still mustered 25.2 points. It's ridiculous, of course. Booker, Michael's team is the backup running backs, and then Tom Brady and Tyreek, and then Booker gets 15, Chuba Hubbard 12.6, Tyreek with 21.4. Just like the most average week his team could possibly have, and of course my team has to have the worst possible week ever, because I'm playing Michael, so that's how it goes. He plays Smith, who had 2 points, and TJ Hawkinson with 13.9, and then another fucking backup running back, shocker, that got 14. So he's got 3 backups on his team, but they score like running back 2, running back 1 numbers. Like, it's fantasy is just, it's crazy. It's so much fun. Yeah, so his team is like a bunch of injured guys, but the backups come in to bail him out. So yeah, it's a rough matchup. I lose them every fucking time. I'm used to it at this point. It doesn't even bother me. I woke up and I was like, I know. After I saw Kyler get 6, I'm just like, I know I'm gonna lose. There's no way. When my carry, Kyler, gets 6 points, it's just game over. So that is all the games this week. Only really noteworthy things happening were Andrew with his first win, Connor losing. Let's look at the standings. So for the standings, we got Connor 1, Michael at 2, Cam taking a step ahead of Bobby and I. He's 5-3. Bobby 4-4. I'm 4-4. Jacob 3-5. Finn 2-6. So it's kind of the ends are splitting, I guess. Like, there's a middle, and the people on the ends are splitting away. But there's still a few games left. Things can happen. Someone's going to win out. Someone's going to lose out. It's going to be interesting. And I'm going to take a look at Week 9, give my quick thoughts on those games. So I'm playing at Cam, and I'm not thrilled about that because Cam's team has been really good. The overachievers, well, they're just achievers at this point. I think this is about as good as this team should be. I'm hoping the Browns decide to play defense against the Bengals, because if the Bengals get shut down, then I win, basically. Devontae's back from COVID, although Aaron Rodgers is out, so that's pretty sick. Although I imagine Jordan Love, they're just going to have him throw the ball at least 20 times to Devontae, because, like, what else is he going to fucking do? Yeah, so it's a lot riding on the Cleveland game. Kyler's playing San Francisco. He's got, like, an ankle injury, so hopefully it doesn't affect him so much. It's not like he runs anymore anyways, so see what he does. Justin Herbert's playing Philadelphia, which they're a very kind of below average defense, so he's due for a fucking good game. Zeke's playing Denver. Aaron Jones playing they're playing the Chiefs, so on paper you would think Aaron Jones should have a really good game, but something tells me yeah, so I mean, hopefully James Robinson, he's going to be playing Buffalo, so I'm not thrilled about that, but if he's healthy, I'm going to have to start him. So yeah, it should be an interesting game. I think it should be close. We'll see, though. One of us is going to be the underachiever in this one. Next matchup, we got Connor and Jacob. I think Connor's just going to roll him, but I don't know. Patrick Mahomes could have a really big game. I don't know about the Vikings are playing Baltimore, and honestly, I could see that game just being like such a terrible game for the Vikings, but who knows? Connor's got Lamar's off bye, so he's back. His team's just too good. Jonathan Taylor's playing the Jets, so he should be going off. I mean, there's no case for why his team should play bad. He doesn't have a Derrick Henry anymore, but it's like, oh no, now he has to play Chase Edmonds as his worst running back now, which, I mean, that says a lot about his team, I guess, because he's got Godwin on bye and Swift on bye. So I don't know. It should be an easy game for Connor. Next, we have Andrew playing Finn. I think Andrew's got the momentum here, so he should roll through him easily. Finn has an empty wide receiver slot right now. I don't know who he's going to play. Finn's just been getting raped by the injuries, and he's got Wentz and Matt Ryan as his quarterback. So Matt Ryan, who's playing the Saints, which I don't think that's a very good matchup. Yeah, Andrew should have no problem here. I'm not sure about starting Myles Gaskin. I guess he doesn't really have any option. Yeah, he doesn't have any option. I don't know. I think Myles Gaskin sucks, but they're playing Houston, so who knows? Yeah. Next is Michael versus Bobby, and this is, I mean, Michael's just got the luck, so I'll say Michael is going to win, but this is they're very comparable teams. They're a team of backups and misfits, but they both have good quarterbacks, but Michael's got the go on bye, so I'll give the edge to Bobby on this one, because without Tom Brady scoring like 30 automatically like 25 to 30 every week, that's literally at least a fifth to a quarter of all the points he scores every week. So I think he's screwed. Although McCaffrey could be going off, he's coming back. I doubt the Panthers are going to be like, oh, McCaffrey's back, let's give him the ball 30 times like they normally would. So he might be slow to begin, but he's also not going to have a tight end. Yeah, I mean, on paper, Michael's team just sucks. Like, what? He's got like Tyreek. Like, I look at his team and it's like McCaffrey, if he's healthy, would be good, but he's just not. Tyreek is like the only player I'm like, that's starting. And Tom Brady obviously is insane. Kirk is Kirk Cousins. Like, otherwise it's just backups and like second receivers. He's got T. Higgins, the second receiver. Robert Woods, the second receiver. Tyreek, who's been playing on the Chiefs, who've kind of sucked this year. But it's just been working out, man. So just do it. You do you, man. Just keep it up. Yeah. As for that, that's my recap, boys. So we'll we'll see you week 16 for my next recap. Love you guys. Bye.